What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi and welcome back to Courtside Financial. Today we're going to be talking about the new position that William Li has in Uxin. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button. It really does go a long way in helping out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any videos. And lastly, if you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, make sure you click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. But anyways, on June 15th, Uxin announced that they would be receiving up to $315 million in capital from a bunch of investors such as NIO Capital and Joy Capital. Well, update on that. On July 12th, it was announced that they had received 100 million of that up to 315 million in aggregate funding. So in essence, the company issued out around 291 million convertible notes, which is equivalent to 97 million shares. The company's convertible note holders, including 58.com, TPG, and Warbug Pincus, have converted their convertible notes into aggregate principal amount of 69 million into 66 million Class A ordinary shares, equivalent to 22 million American depository shares. So concurrently, more than 10 important investors, including NIO Capital, Joy Capital, and the above mentioned convertible note holders, have agreed to not sell their shares of the company for a period of 9 months starting July 12th. So 9 months from July 12th, the clock is ticking. Closing of the remaining tranches are subject to the terms and conditions stipulated in the agreement. Anyways, now we can get to the good stuff. What I really wanted to talk about was William Li being placed on the board of directors for Uxin. Mr. William bin Li is the founder of NIO and has been the chairman of the board since NIO was established and its chief executive officer since March 2018. We already knew that. In 2000, Mr. Li co-founded Beijing Bitauto E-Commerce Co. Ltd. and served as the director and president until 2006. From 2010 to 2020, Mr. Li served as the chairman of the board of directors at Bitauto Holdings Limited, and a leading automobile service provider in China, formerly listed on the New York Stock Exchange. In 2002, Li co-founded Beijing Creative and Interactive Digital Technology Company Limited and served as its chairman. President and director Mr. Li received his bachelor's degree in sociology from Peking University. Really big, important, prestigious university in China, by the way, for those of you who haven't done your research on this man so far. He's done a lot of things, very ambitious CEO, stops at nothing to get it done and stops at nothing to strive for more. Mr. Kun Dai, founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Uxin, said, "We warmly welcome our new board members and are honored to benefit from the experience of these four distinguished experts. Uxin is at a critical stage of development following our successful business transformation. I believe our new board members will bring invaluable guidance to our business development and strategies going forward. On behalf of the board of directors, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Cheng Chonglun Julian, Mr. Quang Cheng Sun, Mr. Li Kong, Mr. Muyan Wang, and Mr. Shun Lam Stephen Tang, and Mr. Yongzong Huang for all their dedicated services to the board and contributions to the company over the years. We wish them great success in their next endeavors and look forward to working with them on other opportunities in the future." Forgive me if I said any of those things wrong. It's not my native tongue, but obviously there's been a swap out between the board members, and these new members are going to bring invaluable experience to this new company that's turning around, which we caught at the inflection point. So that's great news for investors, but let's dive a little bit more into it, specifically from the perspective of what value is William Li going to bring to the company. Now, I've talked about the conviction that this man has in the used car market before, right? In multiple videos on multiple occasions. You know, you can go back and watch those, but essentially, to sum it up, doing my research, I found that William Li has actually done business with Uxin before. He's actually done a partnership with them, investing in them through companies that he's We just talked about Bit Auto that he's been at. He's done a deal with them there. In the past, he's actually also invested his own money into it. One of the first big investors to give the CEO an initial investment. You can look this up. It's all on the internet. It's facts. You just have to do the digging, but it's out there and it's also on the channel. So if you want to double down and go watch those videos, they're still very relevant today. But ultimately, what this means is that back then he had a lot of belief and conviction in the used car market. Question that we ask ourselves today is, does he still have belief and conviction in the used car market? Number one, obviously he's on the board, but number two, we could have told you that way before this video even happened, way before this deal even happened, way before he was put on the board. And why is that? Because NIO started their own used car program. So obviously, if he's implementing something that he thinks is going to be huge in the future in his own company, he still has a lot of conviction in it, and attaching those words to attaching those ideas to the words that he said years and years ago, you can obviously draw the conclusion that this man really does believe in the used car market in China. We're not going to get into why is that, but just very high level. Obviously, they don't want all those cars to go to waste. Yes, they are trying to go completely electric, but there needs to be a nice movement or a meaningful movement through the ecosystem of the cars that are already existing in inventory, and figure out a way to make money off of those type of things, and he understands that. So I digress, but somebody like William Li being on the board for Uxin, what does that mean for the company? Let's go from there. Well, this is not just the guy that kept NIO in the game when they were on the verge of bankruptcy. This is a guy that's regarded by many as the godfather of transportation in China. He's had his hands in so many different ventures. Not only is he an industry expert in the truest sense of the word, but he's also someone who people throw money at to invest. He can raise capital with the snap of a finger. Expertise is going to be crucial, not only because he has all this experience, and he's knowledgeable in certain situations and how to go about certain things as it pertains to the automotive industry, but also because businesses need money to continue to run. There's going to be tough times, there's going to be challenges ahead. At the end of the day, you've got to be able to put that conviction into investors. You've got to be able to raise money, something Elon Musk does very well. That's something that William Li also does very well in NIO. He can raise money with the snap of a finger. So bringing that conviction over to a company like Uxin, being very public about it, is obviously going to attract a lot of investors for the hard times. And having so many industry experts on the board who I'm not even 100% familiar with, but they seem to have swapped out the existing board members for these guys, it just sounds like it's going to be a very good route for, or at least the path is looking very good for Uxin looking forward. So I want to know what you guys think about William Li taking a place on the board. Do you think that's a net positive for the company, net negative for the company? Where do you think the company is going to go after this with some information like this? Anyways, great times for this place, great times for this company. In my view, of course, super important to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. But leave me a comment down below. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. Good to be back.